Chapter 6. Catnip and Turtles. The turtles still hid inside their shells in the small box Molly had brought them home in. Probably too dumb to come out and enjoy the nice place I made for them, Todd thought. Now they need some water, Todd said. Go ask Mom for an old cake pan or something. Molly brought back a bent up roaster pan about 5 inches deep, 10 inches wide, and 18 inches long. Will this work? She asked. Yes, but you'll have to get some rocks to help them climb into and out of the water. In a little while, the turtle's blue pool looked homey and ready for them. Molly put one in the water and one on a rock beside the pan. The one she put into the water woke up and began swimming around in its little pool. He likes it. Molly squealed with excitement. Todd nodded. The turtle did seem to like the water. Okay, he said. I'm making something for my bike, so I'm going back outside. You'd better get something for your new pets to eat. The man at the pet store said they like bananas, romaine lettuce, and tuna fish, she said. Daddy got stuff for them to eat. Well, then give them some. Todd took off for his bike. He finished fastening the plastic pipe really tight, then stuffed some dry dust into the pipe on his bike. Graham and Gramps' car turning into the driveway made Todd forget all about the exhaust system. We heard you have a kitten, Graham called. Yes, I'll find him for you. He's really neat. Todd ran into the house for Thor. When he returned with Thor riding on his shoulders, he noticed Gramp had some leaves in his hand. That's some cat, Gramp said. I've never seen a prettier Siamese. He's going to be big, too. Graham took Thor from Todd and petted him, but the kitten seemed to shrink into himself. Every time she stroked his fur, he washed away her finger marks with his rough little tongue. She handed him back to Todd. That cat doesn't even want me to touch him, she said, laughing. You have him thoroughly spoiled. Put him on the ground, Gramps said. I have something for him. Todd did. When Gramp dropped his leaves next to Thor's nose, the cat went crazy. He attacked the leaves, rolled in them, and tried to eat them. He barely rested for a moment before he repeated his routine again. What is that stuff? Todd asked. Mom came outside and joined the family. They all watched Thor for another minute. Todd couldn't believe anything in the whole world could make his cat so excited. That's catnip, Gramps said. I have some roots for you. He headed for his car. That little bit will soon be wilted if your cat doesn't eat it or tear it to shreds. Todd followed Gramp to the car and took a small paper sack. Gramp put his arm over Todd's shoulder and steered him toward the garden. Let's go plant it right now. Todd remembered how he didn't like planting gardens, but this was different. This was for Thor. Let's stick them right here, Gramps said, pointing. The ground seems extra soft. Todd gulped. Gramp had pointed at almost the exact spot where he had buried the corn. Todd dropped to his knees and pushed the soft dirt away with his hands. He breathed a big sigh when he didn't see any of the corn kernels. Pulling the small roots from the sack, he planted them just below the surface, as Gramp told him. Thanks a lot, he told Gramp when he had finished. Thor will have a lot of fun with the catnip when it grows. Gramp picked up a small stick and handed it to Todd. Why don't you push this into the ground to mark the place where you planted it? Then Molly showed them her new pets. Gramp said he was sorry he didn't have any turtlenip for them. Graham and Gramp stayed for supper in the evening. Molly complained when she had to go to bed. Todd felt the same way at his bedtime, but he went quietly. Todd usually found Thor waiting for him on his bed, but tonight he wasn't even in the room. Todd did a quick search of the places he might be, but couldn't find the kitten anywhere. Mom, he yelled from the utility room, could you help me find Thor? I don't think he's in the house. Mom came, so did Dad, Graham, and Gramp. While the others searched the house again, Gramp and Todd went outside and called around the house and yard. Still no Thor. Finally, the group all gathered in the kitchen, wondering what to do next. I know what happened, Todd said, his voice breaking. Someone stole him. People like Siamese cats, and Thor is an extra special one. Graham told Todd that Thor was all right. People in the neighborhood don't steal cats, she said, even if they are Siamese and extra special. He's just gone to sleep in some little corner. Think like a cat, Todd. Where would you hide to take a nap? Todd could imagine more than anything in the world. Thor loved to be warm, so he always went to Todd's bed. No place as warm as the bed. Todd silently prayed for his furry friend. He had to be all right. He just had to. We've searched the entire house, lawn, and garden, Mom said. I'm afraid he's not on the place at all. Say, Gramps said, we didn't look in the garage, did we? Todd shook his head. Thor never goes in the garage. He likes luxury like carpets, upholstered furniture, and warm beds. He wouldn't be in the garage. Let's look anyway, Dad said. It's our last hope. He opened the garage door and stepped through. Todd followed. Usually at night, the garage was inky black, but tonight a dim light shone in the area. Todd looked around but didn't see Thor. As he neared the light, he remembered Molly's turtles. Might as well take a peek at them, he thought. They might have their heads out of their shells now so I can see them. But when he leaned over to check the turtles, he found Thor lying directly under the light, sound asleep. Both turtles sat on top of the kitten. Todd couldn't believe his eyes. Dad, he whispered, come here. Dad's eyes opened wide when he saw the kitten sleeping with the turtles, then tiptoed back into the house and got Mom, Graham, and Gramp. Thor went in there to get warm, Mom said. The turtles wanted to get warm too, so they did what they had to do. They climbed on Thor to get to the light. Todd took his cat to bed and thanked God for keeping Thor safe. Then he noticed an awful smell. It seemed to grow worse. After a while, he jumped out of bed, took his cat to the bathroom, and washed him all over with a warm, damp washcloth. He hoped that would get the turtle yuck off.